Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Gojo Sensei and welcome back to Genshin Impact. So how's everyone doing? Let me know down in the comments below. So for today, I just want to play this game again in the channel because I freaking love this game. Plus I don't really have anything in mind to play on the as our like random game for for the week. So yeah, let's just play this in we do have a new content anyways. Is this one? Which is the basically the story quest for Cyno. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I'm pretty sure it's Cyno because I've heard it being pronounced in game. So let's just get to it. Let me teleport to this. I didn't want to like, oops, I didn't mean to freaking do that. I didn't want to like be teleport here and then like start the game, start the recording because I think the event will start. Right? Yep. So I can see. So you guys can see. I'm also gonna record. Hold on. So I'm also gonna record my run for the abyss for this what do you call it, for this version. I don't know if it's really for this version, maybe for the next version. It's 4.7. Like I don't know how the abyss numbering works, like if it's like the second half of the abyss for this version, does it count for the next version, or is it under this version and the previous abyss is for 4.5? I don't know. Anyways, let's just get into it. I'm gonna record that because we don't have, because I also like have finished Little Nightmares, so I'm just gonna like do this as well for the next other game that we'll be playing.
But where should we go looking for people that we know?
Hey!
Traveler,
Hello, Cyno.
climb on.
Cyno! It's been so long since we last saw you!
Yeah, it really feels like it's been forever. You look like you've been keeping well. Yeah, really,
Welcome
like
back to
I haven't really
City.
like
I'm
seen him
delighted
for
to
a
meet you
while.
again. So, what brings you back here?
Oh, nothing in particular. I just saw a really big mushroom out on the road the other day and suddenly missed all our friends at Smear.
Where did you see that big mushroom? I don't remember seeing that.
Funnily enough, we were reminiscing about you recently too.
Hmm.
It was at a group dinner.
With
I look forward to
whom?
hearing about your travels. Something tells
Yeah,
me
we
you must
just
have a
like
lot
went
to catch up on.
and did everything, like a lot of things on Fontaine.
Indeed. Or as I call it,
Biryani
the
factor.
biryani factor.
Does that mean?
You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always
Oh,
right to
come
meet
on,
steward.
Cyno, with your joke.
Oh, darn, he said it.
Oh, I won the bet, pie man. Time to pay up.
You like that one, huh? You must, if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
Yeah, sure.
Here's your 500 more.
Thanks, pie man. Nah, I'm just gonna say nah, I feel like this is way too like on the nose. Thanks, pie man. Feels good to hit the jackpot.
Never making a bet again. I really thought Cyno would be able to hold back on the jokes. They say people can
Plus, I'm
change,
not
but
that
maybe that's just
close to
wishful
Cyno.
thinking.
Bit of pie
So
man.
this was technically my fault.
Hmm.
In that case, I'll treat you to some sweets later. Anyway,
Cool.
I'm actually investigating a case right now.
I was like
My mind
hearing
is focused
thunder.
on work,
And it's always like
which is
in game,
why I didn't
but then
complete
realize
the
like
joke at
raining
first.
outside. Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind is focused on work, which is I didn't complete the joke at first.
What
What?
happened?
Yeah.
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided
Who was
reflection to
involved
handle
though?
this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done,
Wish I was like,
you know.
I wish like this is something you could do in real life. You just like travel around. Man, it's amazing. Probably an amazing life. Not taking into account, of course, like that you have to like fight people or enemies and like abyss and all that. But besides that, I feel like this is a really good. Like this is really interesting for me personally. I feel like it's a really interesting kind of like living. Just like traveling around and then hanging out. Don't really have any job per se.
Such enthusiasm. Are you worried I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around to remind me?
What? No! Alright, was it really that obvious?
Obvious
It is that
enough.
obvious.
Still, it's a fine idea. You are the heroes of Sumeru.
Hmm.
It makes perfect sense to work together. All right, follow me.
Sure. We follow you around. Outkeeper. There's the official start of the thingy. Where is Cyno? He's inside Academia. Academia. Yeah. I like the music. I think, in all honesty, I think
Do you see
Sumeru has the
him?
best music
The old man
in
flailing
game.
around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage.
I always thought it was like pronounced
He taught
Kairos,
both me
not
and
Cyrus.
Lisa.
Like Kairos the Great. Oh, Lisa.
Huh? Cyno's teacher is in trouble?
It's ridiculous.
It's
I'm just an old
ridiculous.
man who enjoys a
I'm
spot
just
of
an old
gardening,
man.
shopping, and wine. What sort of person targets an old retiree?
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Oh, it's the traveler
Cyno. Now who do we have here?
Hold on.
Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A
A
youth
youth.
who does not seem to hail from this land? My
That's
goodness. You must be the
stereotyping.
legendary
What if I
traveler
just
in
like
Paimon.
wearing this and I actually
I've heard
am
all
from this
about what
land?
you've done for Sumeru.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I've told him about you before. You
Oh,
are my friends,
that's
after
how
all.
you knew who we are, or who we were. Good to meet you, sir. We're here to
right.
help Cyno.
Let me summarize the situation.
I
A
like
couple of
that.
days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
Okay.
A threat letter?
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an old man like me, for goodness
Maybe you
sake?
did something wrong. I don't know.
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million more
Seriously,
at the
10
back
million
door of the
more.
cafe. Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences. Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
So funny, like when something like that happens, 98% of the time, like in real life as well, when someone receives like a threatening letter or when someone is like kidnapped, and you receive like a letter like that saying like pay this, pay that amount, and if you go to the police, we will definitely not like we'll definitely kill like the person we kidnap or we'll do something with you, like the people who receives that always 98% of the time always like seeks help with the police. I feel like that thing doesn't even work, like that kind of threat of like asking someone not to talk to like a police.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10
Yeah.
million more. What a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond the tomatoes in my garden. Where
Tomatoes
do
in
people
my
think I'm hiding
garden.
10 million more, huh? And my tomatoes?
Yeah, if you saw
There were
all
no
of them.
witnesses, so currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Ready when you are.
Paimon's ready too.
All right, take a look. Do you see anything suspicious?
Okay, so you're like asking me to like look around the area. Anyways, Cyrus, well, this is like a seal behind. I'm not reading this thing again because Paimon just read it earlier. Yeah, there's like a seal behind. I don't know what that is, like what that symbol is. From Cyno's description, it sounds like the threat letter didn't come in an envelope. It was simply written on a crude piece of paper and left for Cyrus to find. The paper.
Very good.
Yeah.
The paper has a rather rough texture.
Well, it's
It's
not
not the
specifically
typical
that I
kind
was
you
like
see in most books.
notice. It's the freaking logo in the background.
Another thing is, some of these strokes look kind of blurry. Could there be an issue with the ink?
He's running out of the
Possibly.
ink. Running
And
out
I
of
bet the
ink.
paper has something to do with it.
Most of the paper around here is much smoother than this.
Maybe you can
and the ink
find
is
where the
absorbed
a
quickly
paper
so it
comes
doesn't
from.
run.
But like trying to
This
find
paper,
out, yeah.
meanwhile, it's very coarse-grained. Almost as if it's made
Maybe
from
like this.
some sort of plant
This reminds me
matter.
of like me when playing Ace Attorney. I don't know if that's something I'm gonna play on the channel because I have pretty much played almost every single Ace Attorney games besides the last one, the most recent one. Not the Great Ace Attorney, but like the most recent one in the main series. And I have been like putting it off because we don't want to like, you know, be it like I don't want it to be over basically. So I've been like putting it off. Plus, I have a lot of things that I want to do as well in real life besides like playing games. But I don't know. I might end up playing it on the channel if that's the case. You know, as you guys can see, like, because I like that game. I want you guys to see like what kinds of games I really like. What's my thing? What's my actual thing?
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia, but the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia or not? Wait, check this out. Looks like this part got wet at some point.
Agreed. The staining suggests it was a colored liquid, not plain water. It also looks like it was wiped off with a damp cloth.
Mihoyo, can you like make a game that's like based around this kind of like gameplay? I'll say maybe like based around like Ace Attorney. I know you guys probably have some taken inspiration from it from when I like especially like taking into account what happened in Fontaine and even like the whole Fontaine idea of Fontaine. I feel like that's based around Ace Attorney. Um, I really would love for you guys to make that kind of game, but I don't know how you guys will approach it. From like because you guys is like business models like live service. I don't know how that would work out.
A colored liquid. So, tea? Wine?
Or maybe.
Looks like we're
What
thinking
kind of
along
color
similar
liquid
lines.
is it? Hmm?
Let's go talk to Arof.
Who the hell is
some
Arof?
things I'll need him to take care of.
It's just realized it's just me like talking over dialogues and giving my thoughts. Pretty much like half of the recording as of the moment. Half the duration of the recording. I'm gonna try to like not talk too much from this point on. Besides like something relevant to the actual game. So I don't want this to go too long.
Ah, there he is.
Hello.
Mahamatra Cyno. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the Traveler and Paimon. It's
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to like skip your dialogue. Didn't know you were still speaking.
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student at the academia.
Are
Somebody
you saying
young
like it's him?
and strapped for cash. Oh, one last thing. I'd start your
Oh,
investigation
you're just like
by
asking him
taking
to
a look at the
investigate.
cafes in the
I
city.
thought you're like a student.
Of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the ladder, huh?
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the letter is written on a type of scented paper that has aromatics added during the manufacturing process. The kind often provided as writing material for customers in cafes and
So they
taverns.
sell writing
of course.
materials in cafes
Yes,
and
like they
taverns.
sell in the gift shops. I remember now.
Sahidi.
bought some a while back. She said she was going to use it as wrapping paper for a vase.
Or vase.
understood. I'll assemble a team to investigate the points of interest immediately.
So
You have
Mahamatra
my
means like
gratitude.
general, and then Matra is probably like a subordinate
One last thing. Send some Matra to guard the entrances and exits of Sumeru City.
leader of the
Change
Matra
into
is
plain
Mahamatra.
clothes.
Yeah, probably that's
Don't
what
let
it
them
means.
see you coming.
Yeah.
Will do.
Will do.
Great thinking, Cyno. So, where do we think the culprit's at right now?
I doubt that they go back to the cafe. I don't know why that will be logic. Traveler.
Yeah, they've probably been lying low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
Don't know where that like logic came
Really?
from.
The culprits approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But just because they warned Professor Cyrus not to go to the Matra, doesn't mean they know what he'll do next.
Yeah,
So,
great logic
like you
there,
said,
Cyno.
They need to wait and see. And crucially, the culprits said they'd be watching the professor.
Hey, it's probably that guy behind
Huh?
you, Cyno.
Wait, are you saying...
Is he with us right now? Yeah, I freaking knew. It's probably you.
Found you.
Found you.
What are you doing?
You wrote the threat letter.
He just shoots him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well hidden. For someone reckless enough to threaten professors. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav. Whoever followed us the whole way was likely to be the culprit.
Oh.
I was just listening in, that's all. You know something big's going down when Mahamatra Cyno shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big deal?
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off
Oh,
with
you
wet
just like
cloth.
hit your
All
freaking.
to create the impression that the letter was written at a cafe. Closing off the exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free from scrutiny. The cafe was a red herring all
Oh,
along.
get it. Like,
You had to be
Yeah.
somewhere where you could monitor the professor's movements.
so my thoughts behind why I think, yeah, the traveler is correct. That kind of thinking, or, you know, at least approximately correct, is because, yeah, like he probably like put things on the paper to make, yeah, to have the matras or the whatever, the investigators like look around the coffee shops, you know, which is a good ploy,
You can't
you know.
pin this on me. I haven't done anything.
Really? Then why are you shaking like a leaf? The innocent have no reason to fear the Matra.
But you.
Your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. You're a terrible
This
liar.
exaggerated.
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price.
Now come with me.
Come with me.
Well, that was over quickly. Cyno already caught the guy.
You're telling me. One minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Cyno. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid he's ruined his whole future.
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so fast.
The culprit's name is Uraka, a 16-year-old student
Really?
in
That's
Taoist Darshan.
pretty young.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something.
Yeah.
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child. He's too young for the
I
criminal
freaking
life.
just realized.
The devil drove him down this path.
Cause I was like going through Reddit and all that. Of course, I have like subscribed to like, or following the like the Reddit community for Genshin as well. I saw someone posted about like, there's no model in this game for teenagers, and I just realized why that question came up. It's because of this conversation.
We question the culprit
Game.
regarding his motives.
Oh, just spit it out.
Hmm.
Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra
Okay.
tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost a
I
lot of
see.
mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor, Zaha Hadi. How can he not know who Zaha Hadi is?
I don't
Is
know.
this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable retirement? A man grows a few vegetables and suddenly he's living a life of luxury?
Maybe
That's
it's more
funny.
the fact that you have the time to grow vegetables in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, how are you just like able to grow vegetables? Where's like your actual source of income coming from? Like,
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring and kept it for himself instead of reporting it to the academia. Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic research or other projects since his retirement. And given your advanced age, he thought you'd be an easy target to blackmail.
Oh, Araka. I'm at a loss for words.
Araka.
I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite confident that Professor Cyrus has never embezzled a mora in his life.
I don't know about that. Cyno. Knowing this game, it's probably true.
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to interrogate Araka again later. I need you to deliver a few firm fistfuls to him on my behalf.
Fistfuls.
I completely understand how you feel, Sir Cyrus, but I'm afraid that course of action goes against the Matra's principles.
Professor.
Yeah,
no
if
need
you
to be
know
childish
it's
about
not
this.
true, I don't know why you're being.
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Okay. Where does this go from here?
The academia will determine the appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individual spreading rumors about the professor's obsession with tomatoes and some old woman on the street,
Obsession with some old one?
there could be a slander case here. The Matra will continue to investigate.
Who said I'm obsessed with some old woman on the street? Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor. You seem confused. Oh, don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor he heard. Besides, I didn't actually hand over any mora to him. The whole thing sounds a lot
So,
worse than
like,
it
too
is.
defensive.
All it costs me is a little reputational damage. That's all.
You're too angry about this.
Please rest assured, Professor, that the academia will issue a fair and reasonable punishment.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents. The family lives in the city, yes?
What kind of conversation are you, like, gonna do with them?
Correct.
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants and they're often away on business.
Mm-hmm.
They've never taken much of an active role in their children's lives.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the time being, if possible. I need something concrete for when I talk to the family tonight. We have to show them how serious this situation is.
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the evidence and are now discussing Araka's punishment. You can hold on to the letter for now.
I don't think
Just
that
make
will
sure to
work
return
in
it within a
like in
couple
real
of
life.
days.
Oh.
Victim
you'll
just
be
like holding
able
on to the
close case
evidence.
in 2 days.
This is really important.
Give or take.
Like something they
Cases
can
like
use
this
or
are quick to
they're using.
resolve.
Very good. Well, thank you for all your help. Perhaps we can all go for a meal together. Oh, my treat, of course.
My apologies, Sir Cyrus, but I have a prior commitment. Enjoy the meal, everyone.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a pity. But Cyno, you have to come. You found the culprit at record speed, and I owe you for that.
Is it Klein as well?
Ah, and isn't Tainari in town at the moment? Bring him along, too.
Wait, you mean Tainari's in the city?
He
That's
is.
pretty cool.
Tainari's master, Sir Nephis, called him and Kale to the academia to help out on a project. They should be at Nephis's office at this hour.
Cool.
Though I must say, I'm surprised you're extending an invitation to Tainari. Did you do something to offend Sir Nephis?
Don't be outrageous. Nephis offends me all the time. It's never the other way around. Anyway, hurry up and fetch Tainari. I'll head over to the tavern with the Traveler and Paimon. See you there. Go on now. Don't keep us waiting.
Sure. Alright, let's go to the tavern. Where is that? That's actually pretty far away, so I'm just gonna teleport. I'm still convinced that this guy is just spacing from like how stories goes in this game. He probably is a bad guy. The rumors are probably true about him, like illegally, like
Not to brag, but we never had problems
like the money.
this at Ratawa Hiss back when I
Got
was
like
still
some way.
teaching. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can ask them. They were students at the time.
Hello, Kale
They'll
and
tell you
Tainari.
what it was like, won't they?
I was out in the forest at least 4 days a week back then, thanks to a colossal workload from Master. It wrought havoc on my poor tail, so I didn't exactly keep up to date with what was going on at the academia. Most of what I know, I heard from Cyno after the fact.
Professor's become a lot more laid back in his retirement. He used to be far stricter, and was especially known for being extremely principled.
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time. I would have happily taken her on as a student.
And then we'd have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper-class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Oh, believe me, back when she was a student, nothing made her happier than the younger students acknowledging her seniority.
What a woman. Hello.
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about
Where is
this?
this
We don't want to take advantage.
money come from?
Oh, don't worry about it. Order whatever you like. And if it's not enough, order some more. After all your help today,
You're not helping
treating
your
you to dinner
cause
is
here,
the least I
Cyrus.
can do.
Because like, I feel like Cyno is probably like thinking in the back of his head now, like, where are you getting this money?
I thought I heard some familiar voices.
Oh,
Sir Cyrus
Kave.
is here as well.
Oh,
Very interesting
Kave,
now
it's been
that,
a
like,
while.
recent
Zahadi was
stories,
talking about you last month. How have
in
you
the
been?
game, like, story quests in the game, like, they don't just like include one character, like the one that's actually on the for the story quest. But they start like also like including related characters during the story, so it's really fun
I've been all right.
because
thank you.
you're just like
You're looking
guessing
very well,
who is
sir.
gonna like
I'm
appear.
glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet? Care to join us?
You can also like order whatever you want.
That's awfully kind of you, but I had a late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight. I just came to Lombard's to buy some wine, and when I heard some voices I recognized, I thought I'd come and say hello. So what's the occasion, anyway? Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
This like the whole community in Sumeru, like I think is I would say is the same level as like Mondstadt. Like it feels so homey. That's a right term. Like everyone really is fun. I feel like if I'm with these guys, I'm really gonna have fun hanging out with them. Compared to like, you know, Fontaine or Inazuma. This feels like really like everyone's like friendly. Same with Mondstadt.
Sounds like things have really gone downhill since I was there. My whole time as a student, I've never heard of anything remotely like that.
I can't believe how young the guy is. Oh, what are his parents going to think?
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions. Their minds are still developing. It's just an unfortunate fact of life. But still, this boy has some nerve. Just look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
Wow, yeah.
Jeez.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the house of Dana?
If this were my son, oh, he'd get the scolding of a lifetime. Oh.
Oh.
Luckily, I'm also an extremely principled person.
Kame! Your order's ready, sir!
Coming.
Yeah, it's
I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening,
He
everyone.
just sounds like
I'll
the
catch
same
you all
guy
another time.
as Professor Cyrus.
Here I am. The coffee beans are in here too.
Kame!
Yep, it's all there.
Yep, it's all there.
I'll stop babbling away now. Let's eat
Like a
before the food gets
just a
cold.
deeper version of his voice. You're all busy chatting that you've almost forgot about the food. Luckily, it's still hot. You enjoy a celebratory meal after a crazy day. It'd be crazy if this is like the end of the actual quest. Just hang out with Cyno and it's over. Don't know how long this video will go. Probably an hour. An hour, maximum like an hour and 30 minutes. 30 minutes, because I think that's like how long. Usually the
Oh, too tasty.
story quest goes.
Paimon's belly is about to explode.
Oh, mine too. I'll have to walk home to burn some of it off.
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus. Master Tainari and I will bring you some homemade herbal tea next time. It'll do wonders for your sleep.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I trouble you to bring a little extra for the other old folks on my street? I'll be the envy of the neighborhood.
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
Thank you for reading us.
I'll see you all later. I better head home now and tend to the crops.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those tomatoes keep you up too late.
Hey, my tomatoes are serious business. Not about to be beaten by Zaha Hadi. Anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
Bye.
Take care. Have a safe trip home.
All right. Now, we finally
Now tell me
have
what
some
you really
us
think,
time.
Cyno.
What do you mean, us time?
Well, I was talking with Tainari and Kale, and since we all have some free time, we thought we could all go camping together.
Hey, camping!
Think of it as our way of welcoming you back to Sumeru.
It's fun.
Camping? Oh, that sounds fun. Paimon's in.
Time to show off my tent pitching
Wait,
skills.
No, that's my job. Don't take it away from me. Why don't you and Paimon help out Master or Cyno? You don't
Sure.
have to play the hero when you're out with us. This is your chance to just, you know, laze
That'll
around
be
and
really
switch
fun.
off for a bit.
If the story
Everyone,
quest goes
Let's
that
meet
way.
tomorrow afternoon at the riverbank.
Without
to the
anything actually
southeast
really
of
happening.
Gandharvaville. No need to bring anything. We've already packed everything for the trip. Just bring your delightful selves and
You call me
prepare to have some fun.
delightful.
You
It's
got
so
it. We'll be
nice.
there.
Great. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
And then we will have to progress the time. Yeah, I freaking knew it. I freaking knew it. So just give me a second. Let me just like progress the time. Alright. My like progress is like 13:30. So in a bit we should like get the notification. Hold on, did I mess it up? Did I?
Time to set
Okay,
up.
cool.
Let's head to
I
the
sold
southeast of
that.
Gandharvaville and meet up with
I sold that. I was like already in the next day when we were like talking to them earlier. Okay. Hopefully the recording doesn't like slow down when I'm here. This is a pretty like dense area. In terms of like
Wow,
graphics.
you guys are ahead of the game. You set up the tents already.
I'd say we're right about on schedule, actually. We were aiming to have them set up before you arrived.
Something happened? Hello, Kale.
Traveler, Paimon, let's go fishing together. Whatever we catch, we can grill for dinner tonight. You
Sure.
got it. Dinner's on us tonight. I can contribute too. The other forest watchers gave me some fishing tips a little while ago. I'm really looking forward to giving them a try.
Okay.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered a few for us. I'll leave them here along with some fresh fruit.
Wow, camping
Thank
with
you.
a forest watcher is the way to go. They think of everything. And even if they don't, they can improvise.
This is true. I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
So,
Forest provides
how has
everything.
everything been going for you?
Well, there's been some high points and low points, but we've had some unforgettable experiences along the way.
I see. Oh, in that case, you should try a valberry. I bought
Oh,
some from the
Valberry.
market
Isn't
this
that
morning.
like
A
from...
valuable suggestion. Just don't bury your feelings using food.
Ha ha ha. Cyno.
All I wanted was to recommend something bittersweet.
Oh, I have a sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm gonna go fetch some stuff. Bye!
Bye. Bye. Bye.
She sure made a run for it.
Made a run for it.
Unbelievable. She made a
You say-
run for it.
You guys are just saying the same thing.
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat.
Yeah,
She foresaw what shall soon come to pass.
you freaking
My
jokes.
dear friend, you know what I am about to say.
Not now. I don't actually want to play Genius Invocation.
Trap. But this isn't over. It's only a matter of time before I challenge you again. So be ready.
Ugh, this guy.
this guy.
Somebody make it
This
stop.
guy. All right. I thought we were really like gonna fight him. So, man, I haven't played Genius Invocation in such a long time. So, sound of running water. This is nice. No agenda. Just relax and enjoy myself. Haven't had that in such a long time. I actually want to like do that soon.
We got a bite!
Oh, are we fishing? Okay.
I'll reel it in.
Like just on my own. I just want to like take a breezer.
Firewood, spices, snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. Once Kale gets
Everything's
back,
ready!
we can light up the fire and start grilling.
Question is, yeah, freaking you like what's like Holly. It's probably like we're probably gonna try to like find her because she's like haven't returned in such a long time. I would be worried something. Well, this is so relaxing. It's just so nice to go camping with friends. Is that Holly?
There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left?
Whatever Pyman
Just
says.
thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True. But it's also the closest to the water. If there are any sleepwalking fungi around tonight, they might stumble into your tent.
Oh, come on. You just want that tent.
Well, that's no good. Take my weapon.
Okay.
You can use it to
Actually,
bar the
true.
entrance.
Anyone would think you were sealing the gates to King Deshret's mausoleum.
Come on, Tainari. I feel like I really just want that tent.
Excellent. Then this tent will be an impenetrable fortress.
I'm
Oh,
back.
here she is.
How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue? Always.
It's really fun story quest. Hope really nothing bad happens. It's just like us taking a breather as we need to do so.
Oh, it smells so good.
I feel like the
Paimon
traveler
food.
haven't had a breather.
Someone sure is desperate to eat. I think it's time to
Man,
add
this
the
is so
seasoning.
cozy.
How do you like your skewers? Well done? Medium? Rare?
I'm actually gonna say medium.
Wait, what? Isn't that just for steaks? Hey, if it works for steak, maybe it works for other things too.
Medium well for me.
Okay, these are about ready now then. It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs well done.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna dig in. Oh, there's a freaking... I don't know what that is. I think it's a frog.
Oh, that was so delicious. If Paimon's stomach had space, she'd eat 3 more skewers. I ate a lot too.
Food
Here
coma.
comes the food coma.
If you're
The friggin'
tired,
frog
then go rest.
behind Collie.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Cyno and I will clean up.
Tonight I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will take place another day.
Good night.
Bye, Collie.
Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Oh, don't forget this. The staff of the
I thought the
Skull
game just like
Saints.
bugged out and just went widescreen. Oh, don't forget it. Okay.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful weapon.
I
Try
don't
it.
think Paimon can like
Paimon
lift it.
can't even lift that
Yeah.
thing.
Fair enough. You sure you don't want it?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
way
Paimon's
too
sure.
good
We'll be
anyways.
fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
Yeah. Divine artifact, slayer of countless vile monsters.
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
Is so into genius invocations.
But right now, it's time to rest. Sleep well and sweet dreams.
Same to you, Cyno. Hopefully nothing bad happens while we sleep. These camping trip has really relaxed me. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. The peace of tranquility of the forest, nature's warm embrace lulls you into restful sleep. Ah,
I think they should all be here.
why are you here, Cappy?
Traveler, Paimon,
Oh,
are you in there?
I'll hate him is with
Could you
us
come
as well.
outside for a
With you
sec?
as well.
Look at this.
What the? What's this sword doing here?
Hmm.
Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
Evidently.
Evidently.
Huh? Who is it? Oh, what time do you call this? Paimon's gonna take out the sword. Yeah!
I'm going back to
Oh,
sleep.
hey them, Kave! What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night!
Huh? Why did it come all the way out
Sorry
here?
to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a
Seriously,
situation
we
on our
can't
hands.
really take a break, can't we?
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
Where's the hell is Cyno?
Something has come up. And since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to inform you all.
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning.
I think Cyno disappeared. Is he like bring us here because he wanna like investigate on his own?
Huh? Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after I washed them. Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
You guys are still living together.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They are. And so are the fruits.
Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Cyno's group was drinking last night.
Do tell. What were they drinking?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus
It's a nice
yesterday
way to,
evening
like,
when I went to the tavern
get
to
into
pick
the
up some
story.
things. He was hosting a dinner for Cyno, Tighnari, Kale, and the Traveler and Paimon. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least, I think that's what it was. It looked pretty good.
Okay.
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid tried to extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million more.
10 million more.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch the culprit. The sages are probably dealing with the case by now.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it. Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written, but the paper had this beautiful pattern on it that I've never seen before. Really caught my eye. Give me a sec, I'll sketch it out for you.
Just like the logo that I was talking about earlier. Like the one in the back. Oh, of the paper. You're sketching with your both hands.
Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around before. God knows where the culprit got it from.
Interesting. These are all motifs associated with the tribes of the desert.
What? Really?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found on some ancient palaces. And the crisscrossing and mirroring here. I recognize that too. It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem. One that hasn't been used in a very long time.
Whose emblem is it?
It's the emblem of the
Temple of Silence. Silence. Reminds me of Doctor Who. Silence shall fall when the question is asked. Manic. Oh, by the way. God.
After
Like,
discussing it with
yeah,
each
whatever,
other,
I'm
we
just gonna
both
talk
agreed
about
that
it later.
something didn't feel right. So we
Maybe I
went looking
shouldn't
for
talk
you.
about it at all.
This was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tainari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran
Yeah,
into
freaking knew
Cyno.
it. Cyno
He
is like,
said he was on a
what is
supply
there?
run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about? The Temple of Silence, you said? What is that? Should we be worried?
Silence shall fall when the question is asked.
Is everything okay? Give me a second.
Hello.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's an organization that has existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the academia.
Oh.
Theoretically, it's responsible for the custody and disposal of information and documents not fit
I
for
see,
public
they're like-
dissemination.
Like an intelligence agency or
At
something.
least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an
I see.
office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of
Hermanubis.
King Deshret, and the greatest of all sages. Mostly, by
Hermanubis. Oh, sorry, I
contrast,
didn't mean to.
none of the Academia Temple's
Do
current
that.
members are from the desert region, nor do they use any symbols connected with the desert folk.
I see.
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia is just a fake? Wow.
It's possible. The real question is, why? My guess is they're covering something up.
I wonder what.
How do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty top secret stuff.
Come on, it's Alhaitham. Knows a lot of these things.
Did you forget? He did a stint as acting Grand Sage. And got the pay raise even after he resigned.
It's a great
Oh,
movie.
yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
If you're asking me whether I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
Yeah.
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem of the Temple of Silence appear on a threat letter from an academia student to Cyrus? The student's only 16 and doesn't have any family ties to the desert. So where could he have seen that emblem or gotten the paper?
Maybe it's not really from him.
You said you ran into Cyno, yes? Did you tell him what you've just told us?
Yep. He ran off as soon as he heard what we said.
Well, I don't know why you guys assume this is going really full like a supply run. I'm pretty sure he figured something out when you guys said that.
Given that Cyrus is involved, he's probably halfway through solving the case by now. Still, we should try to catch up with him. At this hour of the night, Cyno will probably go looking for Cyrus at his current residence.
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, the sudden appearance of this emblem can't be good. It's sure to stir up trouble. We should pay a visit to the Academia.
Yep.
Yes. As the Sage of Amorta, my master ought to know the truth about their office. You can ask him to tell you what he knows. The more information we have, the better prepared we'll be for whatever happens there. If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence,
The emblem has to be part of a bigger conspiracy.
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Tell them to keep an eye out for Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, you two come with me. We'll go after
Okay.
Cyno.
Hey, was surprised. I'm surprised that you have like
Sounds like a plan.
control over the Core of 30.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
Yeah, let's go to it. So let's just teleport to this waypoint.
Here we are. This is the place.
We might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh,
Hmm.
Cyno moves fast. If he was here, he's probably long gone by now.
How are we able to like get to here really quickly? I mean here.
know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
Ah! Professor
Ah!
Hadi.
Wow.
Hello.
So it really is you.
Wow!
Goodness.
So is it
Whatever is
it
going
really
on
is
tonight?
you?
We're looking for Cyno. So, he's already been here.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus today at all. I told him
At all.
the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place, and would you believe it? He's gone.
He's
Goodness knows where
gone.
to. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an awful hurry after
Freaking
that.
knew it. That this guy
Never
is
did
not
explain
something
what
you,
this was all
someone you can
about.
trust.
How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper
Silence,
clutched in
huh?
his hand, and he looked lost in thought.
So what do you mean by complete silence?
I could
How did
tell
you know about
something
that?
was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Cyno hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Core of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed it would only damage his reputation. Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Cyno.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia. That's why Cyno was so insistent that he report the matter to the authorities. I was there while they were going back and forth over it.
Okay.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
He'll report it because Cyno forced him to do. Which means Cyrus must know something about the Temple of Silence.
Dear, what on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up in? Oh, I do hope he's not in danger. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to pass on to you. He
Forward
wrote it
thinking
when
from
he
him?
came by earlier. He realized you might come looking for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, let Paimon take a look.
My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
My friends.
Hey, you just
this is a
freaking
rather
read. Same thing.
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor.
You're gonna
Please
try
do
to
not
like
worry. We will do
fight
all we can
Cyrus
to
or
protect
something,
both
corner him.
Cyno and Cyrus.
and execute thy judgment
Traveler, Paimon,
on him.
let's head to the Academia and regroup.
Let's go ahead and do that. Hello, doggy. Oh. Hello, doggy. I wish I could pet you. But that is not something I can do. Fortunately, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, need to go down. I think it was just like teleported right in front of the Academia. Yeah. I just like don't end up like not pronouncing it correctly. I think I could just like go in. Just maybe I should just teleport in front of this. I think I can do that. Oh come on, just like brought me back here. Ah man, nice. Not fun. How do I get into it? Is there a way up here? Ah, man. Hold on, guys. I'm just gonna figure out how I can like get to the academia. Academia. Easier. Just give me a sec. Alright, we're inside academia. Just need to go here. Just need to go inside this place. House of Dana. Hello.
You're here? I thought you were going after... Ah, I guess you lost their
Yeah.
trail.
We went to Cyrus's house. No one was there. Cyno got there before us, but he was long gone by the time we arrived.
He didn't say where he was going?
No,
Yep.
he left us a letter and told us not to go after him.
Can't say I'm surprised. Typical Cyno. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this time.
Yeah, that's like the one that I'm talking about. I wish you guys to like just notice it really early on. This looks like the entrance to the pyramid.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all. It turns out the emblem was all but lost to history. We scoured the entire Academia collection, and that book was the only one with a record of the motif.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business as part of a merchant caravan. Uraka was intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him some pen and paper to write the letter.
I see. So it could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern.
Okay.
The man gave him some tips on how to carry out the extortion, but from then on, Uraka was acting alone.
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Court of 30 and review the city's entry and exit records. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia. But, as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt and foolish. The Temple of Silence felt that they could no longer trust the Academia and ended the partnership.
I see.
They retreated back
But
to the
like
desert about
academia
400 years ago.
in the desert, I think.
Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of
I
King
see, they're like
Deshart's
Legion,
civilization and
maybe.
belief system. They traveled throughout Sumeru, sequestering and guarding any wisdom that posed a threat to the people's livelihoods. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people towards the right path.
The Academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so,
Okay, get
they
it.
set up a dummy organization of their own to conceal the truth.
Not
see.
only that, but they managed to keep up the charade for hundreds of years.
I just like pronounce it
So
charade.
how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left centuries ago?
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Cyno. Probably why he went after him in such a rush.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem on the letter.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities.
He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Cyno had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus went.
I have to go after him.
Okay.
Really? Are you sure that's a good idea with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
Maybe you can send it me.
I
Yeah.
should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides, I just can't shake this ominous feeling that if we don't catch up to them soon...
Everyone, I have news from the core of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him in person.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to meet you,
Oh,
Traveler and Paimon.
look crazy. I didn't expect it to look like
Several
that.
independent eyewitnesses have
It's a
reported
really
seeing
huge
Cyrus and Mahamatra
eye
Cyno leaving
glasses.
the
Sorry.
city at different times. Both were heading in the direction of Caravan Rebot. I was going to suggest that you join forces with the core of 30 in this case. However, as I'm sure you've already heard from Alhaitham and Kaveh, the Temple of Silence is involved. The Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. It may well be that no better choice was available to them, but those actions are nonetheless a stain on our legacy. I won't attempt to make you understand the Academia's perspective. Now is the time for action.
Fraction.
I understand where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid the situation might be more complicated than we thought. I think we need to keep a low profile, or risk making things worse.
Why even like ask then to like Holly to bring the call of 30 if
Good
you just
point.
wanna
If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or
I'm
worse,
just gonna go
he's fallen
low
into their
profile
hands,
anyways.
And everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Cyno back safely. We cannot afford to lose them.
Need our help? Whatever you need, we got you covered.
Really? Wonderful. You have my
Really?
most sincere gratitude. Arav and I will continue to follow up on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Alhaitham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana. Tainari, you are planning to go into the desert, correct?
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay. You stay behind to help Master and I'll hate them.
Well, if you're sure... Okay. But be careful.
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
Let's go.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you need it.
Yep.
Will do. Let's go, Tainari. Hopefully we can catch up with Cyno before it's too late.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already. But
No, we
still
just
have a shot.
teleport, you know.
Let's
Knowing me, he's a teleport. Yeah, like I just freaking do this. You guys don't have this like power, but I do have this power, so I can catch up with anyone. Oh, it's already morning.
Okay.
Makes
we
sense
made it
because
to
it's like
Caravan
really
Rebot.
far away.
Where should we go next? Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
Hold on. Look over
Anything.
there.
Ooh.
Is that Dia?
You sure you want to brave the desert alone? I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day, but still.
It's not my first
Oh, you're
time.
still here.
I'll be fine.
You're here.
Cyno.
Well, you have no choice now.
If
You
you're
have to
really
bring us
going to go
along.
through with this, then at least take our advice. When you're packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Didn't I tell you not to come after me? I thought I had a good lead on you.
No.
Sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone else if I can help it.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno chasing them all the way out to Caravan Rebot. But why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his age and description. Why can't you reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something? Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a while.
Yeah. Hi, Dia.
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you. Actually, seeing all of our friends is the whole reason we're here.
Yeah.
You're looking well. Glad to see it.
Thanks.
Candace and I came to
Where's your
Caravan Rebot
master? I
on
mean, like your
business.
friend.
We ran into Cyno as he
Forgot
was
what her
asking
name
about
is.
some elderly
The one with
gentleman's
the sickness that got healed, of course.
Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies. That's gotta be one heck of a story there.
Mm-hmm.
Cyno, it's okay if you can't tell us anything about the case. But let us know how we can support you.
No, we're
We're
good.
here to help however you need. The more people we have working on this, the quicker we'll be able to find the person you seek.
No, it's not that simple. If I'm right, he'll be doing everything he can to avoid us.
We spoke with Zaha Hadid. From what she said, it's pretty clear that he wants to try and solve this on his own. It won't be easy trying to find him in the desert when he's deliberately trying to cover his tracks.
Sounds like this is far more complex than
It's
we
just
imagined.
what he said earlier.
Still, if he started from Caravan Rebot, the chances are that his route took him past our village. You may as well ask if anyone there has seen him.
Sure.
My thanks to you both. Once this is resolved, I will find a way to repay you.
Come on. No need to get all serious. Just buy a round of drinks next time we're all in the city or something.
That's a deal.
All right, so, you all set?
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
All right, then we'll leave you to it. Just remember, if you change your mind and need some reinforcements, we'll be here.
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm here. Are you guys ready? Where do we need to go next? Yep, okay. Just need to teleport here.
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear up.
Go on.
So, after you left the campsite, we had a longer talk.
There you go, he's talking about while I was like sleeping.
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all that the one in the academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me my power. Hermanubis. The original founder of the Temple of Silence. Due to my unique constitution, I was put through a number of trials in the desert.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Is why he's like connected. I mean, the professor.
And he brought me to Sumeru City. But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that...
I mean, it was so obvious. I don't know why you guys did not notice it. It's like really a huge emblem on the paper. I don't know why you guys did not see it.
Whether that's because I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
Or because my memory fails me.
But I feel like someone who's like looking for clues would have researched that. Because that was like really like obvious that freaking emblem
You're
is
right.
being something different
Thank
on the
for
paper.
Kaveh, and for all Hatham's diligence during his time as acting Grand Sage.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have had any qualms about you reporting it. Oh, maybe his connection to the Temple of Silence goes even deeper than yours.
I suspect so too. Professor has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns to Hermanubis and the concept of spirit indwelling, he avoids going into any depth.
Well, speaking of avoiding things, you do realize, don't you, now that we've caught up with you, you're stuck with us for the rest of the way.
I am aware. And I
Glad to be with your company, Cyno.
Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you en route. So
yeah, you're just forced to take us now.
That you're coming with me.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like it or not. So the best option now is to try to look out for each other. Ha!
You can't
Fair
get
enough.
rid of us.
Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Sure.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Mahamatra Cyno?
What are you doing here?
I'm looking for someone. So I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out of Aru Village.
Time to describe Cyrus' appearance and provisions.
A man matching that description passed by Aru Village not too long ago. He stopped by to load up on food and water and feed his sumpter beast. Then he was on his way.
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water. He said he was headed somewhere near an oasis, but he didn't mention which one. Do you have a map? I can mark out the direction he was heading and the best routes to any nearby oases.
Sure.
I have one. Mark away.
Great.
Just like a kid running in the background.
Thank you so much. You were a great help.
You've got a really good memory.
Ah, you're quite welcome. Just doing my job. Best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
You'll find him. Don't worry. So this is the nearest oasis. Hopefully this is it. I didn't realize we're already recording. Well, I realized been recording for more than I didn't really like take this into account. I'll be recording, and I feel like we're not even. I said that we might be recording for an hour and 30 minutes, but I feel like that was okay. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to fight you guys. Also, the game, the recording is a bit, it's lagging a bit. Freaking things. I'm just gonna like stay away. I mean, like I'm not gonna like fight this guy. I'm just gonna like flee from you guys. Okay, the big guy's here. It's following me.
Hold on. I see some people over there.
Do you think it's safe to ask them what they know?
Should be. I'll go.
No. I'll do it.
You're not from here. From here. You're not from this place.
Why can't Cyno go talk to them? What difference does it make?
Given my background, appearance, and the way I dress, I
Oh,
might
okay.
not be the most
Probably didn't know
welcome
who you
visitor
are.
here. Just in case, it's probably better to let a more neutral party handle things.
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an
I
elderly man
think
who's
you're
gone
a
missing
new
around these parts.
character.
Any chance I could ask you
I
a
think you're
couple of
from
questions?
the guy from Natland, aren't you?
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure. What do you want to know?
I'm just wondering if you've seen him. Let me give you the details.
So, a silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling alone.
He'd stand out like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
He's looking behind me.
Uh-oh. That guy's looking our way.
Your friend over there stands out a lot, too. Hey, aren't you Cyno, the General Mahamatra?
Yes, that's me.
You don't seem surprised that I recognized you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man who's gone missing, aren't you?
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me much, do you? No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us. Still, you came to us asking for help. Do you want it or not?
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was mistaken.
Your henchmen don't look like much, but something tells me they put up a better fight than most mercenaries.
Hey, hear that, guy? You're my henchman now.
Suits me, as long as I get paid for it.
Just cut to the chase already. I'm running out of patience.
Readable desert dweller.
All right. Come with me. All of you.
Where are you taking us? Is this a trap?
Don't you want to find your friend? A silver-haired, long-robed, culture type with thoughtful eyes? Sounds like there's a whole other side to Cyrus I didn't know about.
You do know him.
So you know where he is?
Just follow me. I'll take you to him.
Okay. I'm 90% sure the guy who's gonna be introduced in the next patch. I just didn't expect you to be here now. You're for the guy from like Natland, if I remember.
What? Where are you looking? There's nothing here.
Please step back.
It's like a secret door.
Ooh,
Freaking knew it.
ground.
It looks like he's Cyno.
Enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden? King Deshret's technology?
Wait, so hold on. Who are you guys really?
Is this the Temple of Silence? So you're a member?
All good questions. There'll be plenty of time to address them later.
Just like a freaking singing there, dancing. Alright, let's enter. I think we're reaching the conclusion of this. As I said, I figured it's gonna be like an hour and 10 minutes.
This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the desert, especially not hidden right
This
next to an
is
oasis.
crazy. Looks really like
Ooh, Paimon's scared.
interesting
They must
place.
have kidnapped Cyrus. do you think this is the guy Rocka met in the tavern?
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you haven't done anything you might regret.
Me too. I hope I haven't done anything to incur your wrath.
Man, I mean, this reminds me of when I first explored this area. Such a different time back then. I mean, like in real life and all that. And I freaking love this. I don't know why, but I freaking love Sumeru for some reason. Even the desert area, although people like dislike it. I don't know. This was just like during the time in my life as well where I, you know, like Genshin was the only thing that I was like. It was a game for me that like distresses me. It's like if I'm stressed out, it's a game that I play. And it's soothing to just like explore the desert. I don't know, it's such an amazing place. Hopefully when Natland comes out, they will like explore this further. They will make this a bit bigger because it's connected to.
You can wait here for now.
Like this place is connected to, like the desert is the one that separates Sumeru from Natland. So I assume that something more will happen here. Like this will be expanded further. This desert area.
I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet you.
Sure.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended? Maybe we're not being kidnapped after all.
They can't have been at the oasis by chance. They were waiting for us. Whoever the leader is here, they were obviously counting on us showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Where's your leader? Leader.
Don't worry. Someone will come and call for you soon.
What's your name?
Please at least tell us what to call you.
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to explore by ourselves?
Yep. I mean, I'm not worried about you running off. Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood, you're all quite anxious to see him again.
Yeah, we are.
He's right. Well, if we've got some time, we might as well take a look around.
Sure. Okay. Let me see what this place looks like. But like as I was saying, this really takes me back. I don't know, this place, like the whole desert area in Sumeru was just so calming for me. It's so soothing. It's just an empty place. So like exploring it was, I don't know, it was just cool to me. Like it really like took some like things that I was like worrying about from in my mind. It just like I just completely forget it when I was exploring this. It's like meditating when I was exploring this. Plus the puzzles of this, the architecture as well is really freaking cool. I don't know. I love this kinds of architecture. So yeah, that's the reason why I freaking loved, and I wish there was more of this like Sumeru, like this desert area exploring this. Hello.
Hey, Sethos. Have you got some time to chat?
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? I don't blame you. Anyone else would.
So you got a lot of people asking you
Not
questions.
often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get too many visitors.
You're the one who tricked Uruka, right?
Yes, that was me.
Hmm.
Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some easy money.
Easy money.
He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's
okay, that's
secret.
clever wording.
It didn't say what secret that was. Of course, Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was told. And not much of an original thinker, though. It doesn't surprise me that he struggles academically.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he received the letter?
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor defending him. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem, and it was his own choice to take the bait.
You know, Cyno.
What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could
Maybe you're
say
not the guy. He's
I've
from
never
down
had
there. I
the
don't know.
pleasure.
I know there's some like a character that's gonna be introduced soon. That's from that land. Maybe you're not him.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this
Maybe
guy's
just like
not
a
being
new
straight with
person
us?
here from Sumeru.
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front,
Hmm.
you'll have nothing left to look forward to.
Have you ever been to academia?
Nope, not once.
Really?
Really?
I am
I don't know
no need to
why
go
that's
there.
so surprising.
Now the taverns are full of the Urakas of this world. Besides, we're well aware of what goes on at that place.
Are you saying you have spies inside the city?
Spies? It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open.
Yeah, that makes
Anyone's
sense.
free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing the word on the street.
Yeah, that's all I want to ask.
Mhm.
And let me talk to Cyno and the other guys.
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this. We've passed through these parts before, but
Yeah, I mean,
never
like
noticed anything.
they were hiding the thingy, the entrance. So
That's King Deshret's technology for
Yeah.
you, I guess. It borders on the miraculous. Amazing to think that it's been preserved intact all this time.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this point, we can be confident that the professor is safe and sound. So that's something.
safe and sound. Know that song? Okay. All right. Someone's coming out.
Ah, here he is.
Hello. Are you the leader? What does the gesture mean? Why are you guys like nodding? As if you're planning something. This is such a cool architecture. I don't know, I'm so in love with this. Again, I freaking love the deserts of Sumeru. I feel like it's my favorite place.
Well done, Sethos. Greetings, one and all.
Ba-moon.
I am Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know why you are here, and I thank you for your patience. Bring him out.
Guys, have him late.
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Ah!
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus is of great importance to us. We had to find a way to bring him back to us. Cyrus owes me his life. And to the Temple of Silence, he owes a debt of
I have a
gratitude.
theory before we
I
go
let him
further.
go a long time ago, but now the time has come to demand payment.
Did he like exchange something, like his life, in exchange for your life, Cyno? Like, I think you were like born in this place, and he rescued you basically by taking you away from this place. I feel like that's what's going on. So yeah. So like in exchange for his life, for your life, I mean, it's his life, you know.
I wanted to end my feud with this old bag of bones before you caught up with me. But you got here so quickly. Just leave, Cyno. This is a matter between us two old men. You're all too young to get involved.
So that's why you didn't want to report the letter. You'd made up your mind to come here from the beginning. You only left in such a hurry to try and throw us off your trail.
Some things in life catch up with you, no matter what you do. You shouldn't have come. That alone brought the others.
Cyno didn't make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did.
Yeah.
To rescue you. We'd appreciate you telling us the truth. Otherwise, it seems a little unfair on everyone who had to stay behind.
Mm-hmm.
My secrets are secret for good reason. Bringing them to light can only lead to misfortune. You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring yourself to speak of your past deeds to the students you nurtured as if they were your own children. You recognized our emblem because for many years you lived among us. Indeed, you all but became one of us. You knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. Your own guilt convicted you. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our mission
looks
to
like
revive the
Cyno.
might of Hermanubis, to bring new hope, new opportunity. But then you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions. And then you left, taking with you Hermanubis' might and the wielder of his power.
Cyno.
We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price.
Is it the frickin' weapon as well
You really know how to hold
that
a grudge.
Cyno is wielding? It's like the weapon of Hermanubis, something.
Hermanubis' might? And the wielder of his power?
Does he mean you?
Yeah.
Professor, anything to say?
The moon is right. I came here once before. They rescued me from the brink of death once. Many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, he invited me to come here and revive the might of Hermanubis together. It was a great, daring plan, and one shrouded in secrecy.
Are you some sort of like non-human then? Cyno.
The strength of its faith and its warriors.
Are you like a reincarnation of Hermanubis?
Bamoon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Hermanubis, into the bodies of suitable vessels.
Oh, okay.
If the experiment was successful, the spirit of Hermanubis would then dwell within the vessel. Many believers volunteered themselves for the experiment. But we soon discovered that the bodies of grown adults could not withstand Hermanubis' power. In the end, Bamoon offered his own adoptive grandson. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parents agreed to release him.
So it's Ceros and him. Ceros might still be from Natlan then, if he was like he was just like adopted by this guy by Bamoon.
Hermanubis' power.
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of 2 Ba fragments from Hermanubis. As remnants of his raw power, they were exceedingly rare treasures. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony and instructed to approach the Ba fragments, whose power had been amplified. If, after some time, this power did not repel them, this would mean that they were suitable vessels. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment: resonance, implantation, and recovery and observation. The resonance stage went quite smoothly for both candidates. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the fragments one at a time? This would allow us to monitor the results after the first round and adjust our plan accordingly. Or alternatively, we could implant each fragment in a different vessel at the same time and compare their effects. But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light we had never seen before. I knew that if they were not implanted right away, they would disintegrate and be gone from the world for good. Our 2 vessels had both displayed great promise by successfully resonating with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question. To preserve our faith and our power, we implanted each of them with a single fragment.
Ultimately, I ended the
Freaking knew it.
and left, taking one of the children with me.
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared, but I have paid a great price for your betrayal ever since. I have always wanted to see you, Cyno. Losing you and your Ba fragment dealt us a devastating blow. We've been in decline ever since you left.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
But you have also like a freaking what you call it? A vision. So I don't know about that.
In essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. And now you are seeking justice. If you want to take my life, then so be it. I'm an old man now anyway. But you cannot lift a finger against Cyno. He is the General Mahamatra. Your actions would be seen as a declaration of war against the Academia.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Cyno, but you've met us all before. You were so young then, when we all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord. You and he, Sethos, you were our final hope.
You'd like me to return my power?
As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to reclaim it.
That power is not yours to reclaim. Cyno was chosen by the gods. You cannot take what they have bestowed.
You are wrong. Cyno was chosen, but he was not the only one. My child, Sethos, has the same gift as he.
So those are your terms for freeing the professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party. It is because of my foolishness all those years ago that the Temple's glory
That's
has
why he
waned.
looks like
And
this.
now I must take
The
responsibility
statue.
for the decision I made back then.
Because he is basically a reincarnation of that guy, Hermanubis.
So what you're saying is, the power of one Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Divine power causes great suffering to those who wield it. How do you know that Sethos would be able to withstand it?
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this burden is ours to bear. And your objections mean little given that you turned your back on us long ago.
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are proposing is a terrible idea. However...
Don't listen to him, Cyno. That power is no more yours to give than it is his to take. You have to understand.
I know. But if this is a question of your freedom versus a fragment of power, then there is nothing to debate.
Sorry to interrupt, but in my view, there are a number of contentions here that still need addressing. Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release Cyrus. Then, we are at an impasse. I find it hard to believe that you went to all this effort without planning for that possibility. You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well, my stance is, put the rest of your cards on the table. Then we can have a discussion.
Wait, those ears. So, we have a descendant of the Valukashuna.
The frick is Valukashuna?
Splendid. Fate smiles upon us after all. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we...
The frick? What's going on with you?
Why is he coughing so much? He looks like he's in really bad shape.
I see. It's like basically doing one last thing before he dies. Yeah.
Moon, you...
Take our leader back to his room.
Sethos, you must...
Grandfather, I know what you wish to say. Leave this in my
Are
hands.
you an ally or an enemy, Saros?
I don't like to drag out conversations, so I'll just cut to the chase. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours. Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill. So it's somewhat inevitable for the leader to have an inflated sense of self. But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus. My grandfather gave him his chance once. And now I'm giving the rest of you yours.
You have courage and wise judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his younger years. I truly wish that the temple would take an objective look at the academia of today. You've been to the city yourself. I'm sure you've seen that much has changed for the better, and things will only continue to improve. Why not consider cooperating with the academia once more?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now, Cyrus.
Is Al-Haydam just gonna appear in the others?
Tainari made a good point earlier. He said there has to be more to your plan than this, and I agree. All you and Ba Moon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept whatever fate you deem fit for him out of a sense of guilt. I am the one who has a choice to make. And that's how it was always going to be. Ultimately, you want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor, correct?
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later. Give me one night to make my decision.
That works. Then I'll be waiting to hear your verdict. Son. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so I'll be escorting him back now.
Sure. Don't hurt him, or I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then, take some time for yourself.
Alright, well,
sure.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself, Cyno. If you need any help working things out, just come and find us.
Yeah. I really didn't expect this to go this long. I didn't even expect... Like, I didn't really expect this to be this long. It's already like almost 2 hours, and I haven't really posted a video that's like an hour more. I mean, like an hour long in such a long time. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. If I'm just gonna like cut this into like separate videos, or I'm just gonna post it most likely in one. My biggest problem is I didn't really take this into account when I like started recording, because now I don't have enough time to record further. That's the case. It's a bit. I think I'm just gonna like, yeah, record this and then probably not record further. Maybe I'm gonna record my run with the Abyss after this. However, those things are things you guys don't need to know about. But just give me a second. Let me just pause this game for a bit. I just need to, because I just woke up and recorded this. I didn't think that I will be recording for like 2 hours, almost. Straight off from like waking up. I need to freshen up a bit. I didn't even really like did my morning routine basically. So give me a sec. I'll be back. Hold on. Alright, I'm back, guys. Let's see what happens next. Okay. Let's just head over here. Back in. See what Cyno's decision is. No one's here. Okay, the group gathers again at the read time.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
We need to force him then.
My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragments. That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and fevers as a child. I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my mind. But I don't recall much, only bits and pieces.
Okay.
I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Herm Anubis' way of trying to encourage me, even if we couldn't communicate.
Okay.
The power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Herm Anubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way.
There must be another way.
No, I have no intention of returning it. I need this power to protect Sumeru. But the temple has the right to make the final decision over its fate, since it belongs to one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret.
Yeah, it's basically like national treasure.
So I will challenge them.
Yeah, like they have the right to
right
like just take it back,
for myself,
regardless if
fair and square.
regardless if they have if you're using it for like the common good, you know.
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that the Temple of Silence was originally founded by the ruling elite of the day. Traditionally,
So you will
such
challenge
organizations are bound
Zeros,
by a
aren't you?
strict and ancient code of nobility. Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them have their own internal rules. They talk about the importance of never dishonoring their tribal bonds, or the rules laid down by their ancestors. I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same idea.
Question is, are you stronger than Zeros? Are you able to beat him?
Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse. That's how we win this.
Sounds good to me.
And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos. We'll tell him that I know a thing or two about medicine and would like to take a look at his grandfather's condition.
From there on, we make this a conversation with his grandfather. We're getting near him. So where is he? Okay, need to go here. Well, I don't know if... where do we need to go from here? Is there like a small passage or something? Need to go back. I thought these lines were like leading me to that place, but just realized it's actually pointing me towards this one, not that place. Okay. Kinda close. So apologies, by the way, if I like have been speaking too much lately in this this video. It's just been a while since I've recorded like an almost 2 hours video, so it's hard to like keep up and keep commentating. Yeah. Plus, I just want to like, I'm really intrigued about the story now, so I just want to like, I want to focus on it, like on what's going on.
We'll get to that, but first, I have some degree of medical training, so I was wondering if you might let me take a look at your grandfather?
I have no objections, although we do have our own doctors here. I doubt you'll be able to tell us anything we don't already know.
Only way
one way to find out.
Yeah.
Follow me. Keep your voices down. We don't want to disturb him.
He seems to be a reasonable guy, Seros. Tainar takes out his medical kit and performs a basic.
Let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grave. I'm sure that your physicians have come to the same conclusion. He appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by the heavy burden of work and now by the effects of old age. Regretfully, I must inform you that based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition, he doesn't have long left. A few days at most.
Yeah. I've known for a long time.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more pragmatic approach.
Yep.
So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to see it. That's what really matters to you. I know it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste here. You know that better than anyone.
You know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament right now. Both of you have a very different perspective from the men who raised you.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but somehow you've ended up having to make the tough decisions.
Yep.
You're right. We both look at this problem very differently than the people we inherited it from.
Yeah.
I accept, Cyno. This all began because of Hermanubis. So let's end it.
Oh, you
The
have the
right he
same
himself
source.
created. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's residents. He and his two companions proved their mettle by fighting over several days, winning the support of many fine people. That group of supporters were some of the first members of the Temple of Silence, and the sparring matches were enshrined as one of our founding rights, the right of duels.
It's all where it
That's
begins.
where it all began.
Sounds very fitting.
I am in.
I'm in.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep. So I will permit you to participate in this rite.
That's an easy choice.
Along with
Just
your
choose
chosen
me.
companions.
Choose me, sorry.
3 against 3. Sounds good.
However, I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Cyno,
How do you even like take out the bar fragment
must put our bar
from
fragment on
inside
the line.
you? I don't think that's
Letting
something you can just
Cyrus
like
leave with one of
do.
the bar fragments was a mistake, made by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long-standing issue that must be addressed for the Temple of Silence to move forward. I can make no concessions on that front.
It's
None
fine.
needed. We're on the same page. If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus and consider this past dispute resolved. If you win, I'll return my power to you.
It's a deal. Then let's meet at the
Come on.
ceremonial hall tomorrow evening.
we're
8
like
o'clock.
skipping time again. Are you serious? Okay. Ah. We might even go over 2 hours at this point.
After how that went, there's definitely no turning back now.
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away to return to the desert.
You have to win. You need this power, both as General Mahamatra and for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Besides, it stayed with you ever since you were a small child.
I
Surely
wonder
that's a
what will
sign it
happen.
thinks of you as its rightful owner.
It's gonna be like crazy if shit. He actually gives it up. Something.
Both as General Mahamatra and for myself. Yeah, when you put it that way, I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and claim it for myself. Not everyone could have done that.
Exactly.
To help you see
The
this through,
Traveler
yeah.
and I will never lose.
And neither shall I. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. Prejudices pushed people apart. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on. And I don't think that Sethos is any kind of villain. He's just doing what he thinks is best. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.
Alright. Of course, we're waiting again. Let me pause the recording again and like move forward the time. So hold on. Alright, let's go to the ceremonial hall.
Exhale all your sleepiness into it, and then poof, it's now flying away.
It's now flying away. Nilo is so cute. She's my favorite character in this game, as you guys can see. I think I might even like end this whole game with her being my main character. I don't think that will change.
We gather on this day to perform once more the rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis, as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect and reverence throughout the proceedings. Representing the Temple of Silence, the defenders.
The attackers.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decision, Sethos.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather. Just leave it to me.
Representing the Academia, the challengers.
Ready. We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of
I
battle.
don't think us winning will be that
We come
good
not
for
to
you.
debate what brings our challengers here, nor what will become of the defeated duelists. Duelists, the might of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now,
It'd be funny if we just like
fight.
lay down cards
Fight
and this is actually a
until the
genius
rightful
invocation
victor
fight,
is proclaimed.
not a actual.
Huh? Are you sure?
You sure we want to keep our morale up?
I agree. He's very strong. Sending him out first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
We have decided.
So have we.
It's fine.
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward.
What am I fighting? Leave it to me. Am I using my main character or my party?
Don't forget, safety first.
Okay, I'm actually using my.
Hey, you there! You better play nice with them, or Paimon will make you regret it.
Well,
A little bit too much chatter from the audience over there.
this is actually pretty fun. Ha! You guys are getting whomped. Ow. You serious? That was too easy.
A swift end to the first bout. I now invite the duelists of the second
Am I also
bout
gonna
to
be, like,
please step
controlling?
forward. When you're both ready,
let's begin.
Tainari?
Watch out! He drank plenty of water before the bout, so he should be fine.
Well, you guys are freaking done. That was easy. Now we can fight settlers, which I don't know how that will work out. I don't know how we find. Unless, of course, the game just like takes over. I'm not actually gonna fight him.
I'm ready.
So am I.
this is the final stage of the rite. I remind you both that the terms you agreed upon in advance are binding. When you're both ready, you may begin.
I am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis, grandson of Bamoon, the leader of the Temple of Silence. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our
This like sounds like the music
we could
it
not
plays when
see a way forward.
fighting
We chose not to abandon hope, to
um
embark on a brave new experiment.
call it the dragon.
We might
Forgot what his name is. The dragon that Barbados or Venti is friend of.
Earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power, longing to see his spirit and his light descend upon us. Now, I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power.
I am Cyno, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spontamod. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation. And you. I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching. So bare your soul.
Everyone, old and young, fit and frail, they're all waiting to see how this duel will end. My grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler who is not afraid to get blood on his hands. I understand his beliefs well, and I know what he expects of me. But our faith has held us back for too long. After I grew up, I went to the rainforest once, and I saw for myself the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of Sumeru are happier and more free now than in the past. I thought about this as I stood at one of the tallest points in the city, gazing down at the streets below. Then I thought of you, Cyno. You and I both wield the same power, but the lives we lead could not be more different.
Right.
Each Ba fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different. Might, glory, one of many other secrets that have yet to be revealed. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer, and I am still searching for mine.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
Right.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us, shaped the course of our lives. We are his vessels, and yet we are more besides. So show me your answer, Cyno. Show me I can be more than my faith, more than the power I wield. Show me the person I can become.
Okay, let's fight.
Bring it on!
Am I controlling him? No. Alright, I'm taking a screenshot of this. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just take a screenshot of it later. I would think that Cyno will be stronger than this guy.
That's all you've got. What happened is searching for your answer.
No, they're fighting like that.
Fight's over. Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
Oh, you can do that. Actually take away.
I give his glory to you.
Cyno is now complete! Probably just gonna give it back. Something.
I've seen that light.
No, it did complete. It did like take it.
That is the light of our Lord. The great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tainarian priests
Tainarian.
and led them to the city of Tula. There, they founded the Temple of Silence. And from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the
Such a
desert.
nice animation,
One
by the way.
by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tainarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory.
Who is Gurabot again?
The ruling
I don't even
elites
remember.
colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides.
Is that what's gonna be?
Our Lord
What?
had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tula Tainarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far too long.
It's now time to come back with them.
Yet, today, the Temple of Silence
This looks like the Eye of
to the glory of
Eye of Ra, I think.
Thank you.
You're now stronger, Cyno.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
He's dead, I think. Yeah. Might have passed away. It's unfortunate. But this is Saul. You know, his lord, basically. The end. Alright.
Grandfather.
Sad. Usedos and the other members of the temple bid farewell to Bamoon. In the great hall, people gather around the coffin to pay their respects.
Hey, Sethos.
Yeah, you get through this.
I know. I'll miss him.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, he's been on death's door for a very long time now. I think it was only through sheer willpower that he managed to hold on to this point.
Yeah.
At least he was able to see this chapter come to a close.
That's all that matters at this point.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanupis fragments.
I'm pretty sure Cyno will not agree. He's probably going to tell you to be the one to lead.
But that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia. I did foresee this possibility, and I gave it some thought. The fact is, I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here. As such, I am ill-suited to be your leader, Sethos. I believe the honor should go to you. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now. I'm sure Bamoon never meant for anyone but you to be his successor.
You really think so?
I do.
Still, I didn't think Bamoon looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos, I would like you to succeed Bamoon as the new leader of the Temple of Silence. You are more suited to the role than I, and I have complete faith that you will be an excellent leader. Just think of it as doing me a favor.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that the Academia and the Temple of Silence will become partners once more.
Now that, like, things are different, you know, should
That's
be a
much
great
bigger deal than you might think,
alliance now.
Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed.
Yeah.
You have to believe
like
that
Sumer
things
has
can
been
change for
better.
the better here at the temple
The control of the we call it the Fatui is gone. So, you know.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamoon's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel.
Yeah.
That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis would be concentrated in one single person. Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple, much less integrate the temple into the Academia by force. He knew that the temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the Academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the Academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor.
He is really smart.
No matter what happened
That is some
after that,
kind of
it
calculation.
would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. We had to find a way to mend our relationship with the Academia. In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Cyno. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will
I still
grant the honor
don't know
of
why you
mercy
guys
for the
call
Temple of
her
Silence for their
Lesser
pursuit
Lord.
of knowledge. The Temple of Silence has a
mean,
wealth of information on King Deshret's
she's pretty much
more than any other organization in
as
existence
good
today.
as
In times when you need
Rukade
information
Vata
that
at this
only we
point.
can provide, we will be here to support you. But you must be exceedingly careful with your selection of candidates, lest you lead humanity to repeat the same mistakes. By the way, Tainari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. You are a descendant of the Veluka Shuna, and we are the heirs to the will of Hermanubis.
I still don't know what that means.
The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tainarians and appointed him as his familiar. He went on to fight many valiant battles with his Tainarian companions. They always stood by each other, from the founding of the Temple of Silence to the fall of Tuletula.
Are we gonna like? Is like Tuletula something that we have been, like a city that we have been into, or we have visited? I feel like this place has been referenced a lot in the past, so I wonder if it's something that we will be visiting in the future.
The Tainarians who left Tuletula joined their human counterparts in the rainforest. A few centuries later, when some of the group returned to the desert, many of the Tainarians chose to stay.
I didn't really expect this to go like this long, man. I really thought it was probably maximum like an hour and 30 minutes.
In all likelihood.
How fascinating.
Sorry, I didn't mean to skip that.
My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tainarians, but I never knew that my forebears had such a history with the Temple of Silence.
I like this story.
It's like you guys are fated to be friends.
By the way, has anyone
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, where's Cyrus?
Yes, Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but I think he still has many fond memories of my grandfather.
If it's true that you and your grandfather really planned for everything to turn out this way, then I guess he didn't really resent Cyrus as much as he appeared to.
Who knows? Perhaps all of us. You, me, and Cyrus. We're all just
and justifies the mean and all that.
Plan to set things straight. He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions when history is at a crossroads.
Yeah, that is true.
I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali, and arrange for an official delegation from the Academia to come and meet you in the desert. I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead. But once things return to normal, please come and visit the rainforest again. You should stay for a few days this time, and start to build some relationships. If we're going to work together, both sides have to get to know one another better.
I will. All right. Well,
is that the end?
now, everyone.
Or are we I'm pretty sure we need to talk to Cyrus.
Come hang out with us
Best of luck to you, Cyrus. Turn to Academia. Silent I, that's why I'm mispronouncing it a lot. Yeah, let's just head to the Academia. I might split this in 3 parts, to be honest. I feel like that's the best way to do this, to me personally, but I don't really know, because this really like put a recording this really put a dent on like what my plan is for today, which is to record 3 videos, because I wanted to have some sort of buffer zone in case I get sick again. I don't want to like not be releasing any videos again when I'm sick. But I have a buffer that's like cool, because yeah, even if I'm sick, there's still like videos coming up. Well, the other thing is I might just like not record 3 videos this weekend. Just do it like next week.
What were you thinking going off into the desert alone at your age? What if you take the bucket? You told not a soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling frantically to try and figure out how on earth to clean up the colossal mess you'd made.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling? What other choice did I have?
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all your years of learning, and sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some hot-headed 20-year-old adventurer? A one-man suicide mission, That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it? It astounds me that you survived the journey, and you're lucky that Ba Moon didn't finish you off when you arrived.
All right, all right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like you wish you'd been there to lend him a hand. Does it mean nothing to you that I'm your colleague and former classmate?
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
You don't look that old compared to Cyrus.
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh and blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General Mahamatra from being stripped of his powers. Okay, look. Fine, I admit it, I was in the wrong. How can I make it up to you? What about, a month's work at the Academia?
1 month?
Times 3.
Inari's master is really laying into Cyrus.
Yeah, we're too young to get involved.
Give them a wide berth.
Professor brought this on himself. Don't pay any attention to him.
Wow, I haven't seen Master get this riled up in a long time. The last time he chewed someone out like this must have been back when I was still a student.
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. Want to come with me? We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat. You in?
Makes sense. I'm in.
Free food is free food. Yeah, let's go. Skipping that dialogue. Oh, you're a bit. I forgot what her name is.
You're back.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're like her student now.
Well,
Farsan.
look who we have here. Would you mind explaining to me what has been going on this past few days? I heard you all ran off into the desert and got embroiled in a major catastrophe.
All taken care of.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. And you
It's
too.
like a freaking mother.
When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block. Don't you think it would have made sense to involve me? And let's not forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Now would not be a good time to argue with Farazan.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
Kale, please do something.
He's giving me the signal. All right, guess it's time to play my ace in the hole.
He's in the hole. What the heck?
Say, Madam Farazan, I can see you're pretty upset, but I was just wondering. Remember that time you offered to give me a tour of the Academia? Does that offer still stand?
Huh?
Why you just suddenly bring that up?
Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Well, of course the offer still stands. Come on. Madam Farazan will show you around the old classrooms.
Poor Kale getting dropped off like that. Also, check out Farazan acting like some sort of official Academia tour guide.
Well, she's pretty old.
Kale, cup.
Cup.
Huh? What? Oh, right.
What do you mean, cup? You need a cup. I can get you a cup.
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me
Ah.
to stay hydrated while I'm
Yeah,
out
guys,
and
stay
about.
hydrated and all that. By the way, maybe I don't know if you guys have been like watching this like straight 2 hours, but if you are, make sure you stay hydrated and eat as well if you're hungry.
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school, and it's become something of a family tradition now.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. 2 people left.
Where do we need to go next? Well, I guess we need to inform Kave and all that. Wonder if we'll see Lesser Lord Kusanagi. We're gonna see. Forgot. I just am terrible at like remembering names. We're gonna see whatchamacallit, forgot what her real name is, or her other name is.
Am I hallucinating? Or did I see Kaveh and Alhaitham engaged in diligent studying?
We're just reorganizing all the books we used. Look, there's a whole mountain of them.
There's no rush. Nobody reads these books anyway.
My sincere thanks to you both.
Yes, with your help, we resolved the issue rather swiftly and painlessly. And the outcome was better than we could have hoped for.
I see. The Temple of Silence resorted to rather unique means of self-preservation. It explains how they managed to remain hidden for so many years.
And it sounds like they managed to preserve a whole load of ancient documents as well. I'd love to go check those out if I ever had the chance.
That day will come. The Temple of Silence is a hugely important organization, and we'll be sure to maintain good relations with them in the future.
Yeah.
Now, as a token of my appreciation, I'd like to treat everyone to coffee.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Although after the last few days,
Come on, you
I
always
don't
have
know if I
something
can
to say,
handle another
Calvi.
but I can just order something else.
Sure. Let's go.
Alright, let's go to the cafe and end this whole thing. Well, my god. I was off for like an hour. By an hour. It's like 2 hours and almost 30 minutes now. It's gonna be a freaking pain in the ass to edit. I mean, like, to, like... I call it? To convert. Wish, like, OBS can just, like, directly record to MP4. That'd be really cool. Maybe I can.
Then there was Tainari. He put up an amazing fight too. We ended up winning all 3 bouts. Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but I'd have been biting my nails off worrying about you guys.
A truly edifying account of the events. Bereft of detail, but it has livened up the room all the same.
By the way, do you guys notice that, like, the hood that Al-Haydam is wearing, the left side part looks like an eye. It looks like an eye of Ra again.
Hey, Paimon included all the juicy details. The Traveler just pounced and then waved their sword like this, then spun around and blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader to him. That's very dignified of you, Cyno.
Of course. Being dignified comes with being a true champion.
Yeah, if you really, you know, whatever.
I
I'm
got
not
to be
gonna
a
say
champion
too
too
so
once. I've not sparred much with desert folk before. It was a pretty unique experience.
The venue was pretty impressive too. Very ceremonial affair.
Huge place. It felt like something right out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like there was...
Maybe save that one for later, Paimon. Dessert's here.
Everyone enjoys each other's company and General Mahamatra's generosity.
I think that'll do me for today.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again before heading home? We should probably finish putting all those books back.
Yeah, you guys can
My
do that.
thoughts exactly. See you around.
I should get going as well. See you all later. Make sure you get some good rest tonight.
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work processes. So, I gotta dash too.
Kali's come a long way. She's much
How about
more
our
confident at
genius
dealing
and
with other
vacation
people these
duel,
days.
Cyno?
Everyone's a work in progress. You never stop learning.
Yeah, true.
Alright. Is that the end? I wonder.
That was good. It feels like everything's finally wrapped up now. Life is all about these moments when you can finally relax
Yeah.
and hang out with good friends after a job well done. And also, those desserts Cyno got, they were really good. Paimon definitely needs more of those in the future.
Yeah, let's just come back again
Do you
sometime.
3 have anything planned for the rest of the day? If not, would you come somewhere with me?
Sure, we're
That's
going.
a secret for now. Wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
Okay, I think I can guess what you're talking about. It'll definitely be a nice surprise.
Well, now Paimon's curious. Come on, let's go.
Come on, we're still going. Are you serious? This is really long. I wish there was a way to find out, like, how long. Well, maybe I could have just looked it up first before I recorded. I think it was this is exactly 2 hours and 30 minutes. This whole story is supposed to be.
Been a while since I last made my way up here.
Look at this place!
Looks so cool.
Need any help?
Don't underestimate me.
It's a nice spot, isn't it?
What a great view! We're so high up, we can see for miles!
Traveler.
Yeah.
Turn around.
It's a desert area. It's beautiful.
This is my secret base. Somewhere I only.
Oh,
bring
we're
my
now
best
best
friends.
friends. It's
When I
nice.
was a student, I used to slip away and climb up here all the time, just to clear my head. I was quite young then, and hadn't made too many friends yet. Back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Who am I? Why do I have this power? And what should I be fighting for? Our gifts help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my experience. And I'm sure Sethos will figure things out in his own time, too.
As long as Hermanubis' powers endures, you will remain inextricably linked to the Temple of Silence. Yeah.
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way.
You're a true champion now.
Of course. I see no need to be humble when it comes to the facts.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework. Cyno accidentally dropped a fruit. Luckily, he has fast reflexes, so he caught it just in time.
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through my fingers again.
Those were good times. I kind of miss the student life.
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine Cyno doing something like that, but for some strange reason, the mental image is coming through clear as day.
Then make it stop. There's somebody there. It's Professor Cyrus. You guys carry on without me. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, you're not supposed to jump down. Be careful.
Are we done? I want to be done. Come on, bro. This is a really long freaking story quest. I feel like it's being dragged on now, to be honest.
I can't believe how stupid I look in this one.
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Cyno. Just the man I'm looking for. Guess what I found in some old notebooks?
Aww.
Some old photos?
Is that you and
Can
him?
you believe it? This notebook was just sitting in a pile of odds and ends in the sage's office. I must have forgotten to take it with me, and no one's touched it since. It was still right there. I was at the Academia earlier to discuss my workload with Nephis. I swung by the old office to have a look around and
He's so
just
cute.
happened to
I think
cross
that's definitely Cyno. Maybe not.
time
Yeah, I think that's
flies.
Cyno.
Look how tiny you are in this picture. Still a kid.
You look quite young yourself in that one. Ah, it's this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Yep. Looks like her work, all right. Who else could have found just the right angle to make me look so unbelievably hideous?
And
Sorry for like also thinking that you are
dozing
a
off.
bad guy. I mean, I like the twist at the end. Because it's completely different from the usual story quests.
Cheeky girl, taking secret photos of us without our knowledge.
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like, these are good photos, aren't they? Hey, at moments like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. But Moon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you feel the same way.
Don't be ridiculous, you old codger.
Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Sometimes I've dreamed that I was doing research with them again. And other times, I dream of the day they saved my life. Oh, it was one of the happiest times of my life. We all learned so much from one another. You've matured so much over the years, Cyno.
You also realize Cyrus, Cyno, you guys have the first two letters similar.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the non-answers you just gave. So, I will do the right thing and keep my mouth shut.
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious. Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier?
Lisa strikes again.
Oh my
Just
god,
how many
Lisa
does
is
she
here?
take?
Look how
Oh.
cute you were when you were little. I remember how well-mannered you were back then, too.
Yeah, and look how serious and professional you used to be.
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you did better than me at the deadpan jokes, and now you're besting me at those little quips, too.
Don't say that. I still have a lot of respect for you.
That's more like it. Hey, what would you say to meeting up with Lisa again sometime?
I'd like that. Let's
Oh, you guys are visiting Mondstadt really soon. That's pretty cool.
All right.
I'll wait for that.
Let's go next week. Wait, no. Next week is the tomato growing competition. I have got to beat Zaha Hadid.
It's more important.
Find a real hobby.
Come on, like growing tomatoes is a real hobby. What are you talking about? I don't know why old people always do that, by the way, but it's like a thing. They just end up like growing vegetables when they get older. But anyways, that's it for me, guys. I do apologize. I didn't mean this to go this long. I didn't expect this to be like 2 hours and 30 minutes long. I actually felt like the story got dragged on a bit. It was like some unnecessary like what do you call it? Unnecessary conversations there. I feel like this could have been cut out. But overall, I think it's a really great story, especially now that we've like figured out like what's going on. Look how beautiful Sumeru is. Oh man, it's so beautiful. That like, oh, this just went. But yeah, like it's a great way. I feel like it's really like rounds off Cyno's story, because this is another thing that I was like wondering about, though it's not like of course like a main thing in this game, but like I wondered at some point like where Cyno came from. I mean, it came from like desert, but like why he ended up in here in academia, like in Sumeru. And I feel like that's really gives us like a great backstory, and also that's like introduced to a new character, which I think Zero is definitely from Natlan. I think that's gonna be eventually something we'll be dealing with. Maybe that's how we will be introduced to Natlan. He will be the one who guides us. It'll be like a quest to find out where he came from. I don't know. I'm still not 100% sure though if he is from Natlan, if he's the character that comes from Natlan. But anyways, so for me, if you, let me know what you guys' thoughts are overall about this story. I think I'm definitely just gonna post this as like one video. I think it's a pretty fun experience. I also need to record the freaking. I haven't done the freaking what do you call it? The this one, the Spiral Abyss. I'll be doing that. I might just record like the floor 12, just so not to make it harder for myself. So yeah, that's all for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to press the like button. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.